space station. No more. It's a celebration. Worldwide party, get together across the nation. Heard on the stations, we about to be replaced with robots from the space station. No more work, every day's a vacation. One tasting, it's been no work, now it's time for play. No more waiting, they say love's for the taking, so take it. Damn, it feels good to be a king, knowing I can have anything that I wanted. It feels good to be alive. Pass the Dutchie to the left, let's get high. It's a coronation, a king's crown represents the whole nation. Heard on the station, reputation's waning. Our sons is lacking training, they the gods in the making. Brighter days ahead, let us not forget what the master said. That God lives within, beauty of the soul. Know within your whole, it'll never let you go. Once you see it, then you know, then you know. Damn, it feels good to be a king, knowing I can have anything that I wanted. It feels good to be alive. Pass the Dutchie to the left, let's get high. It's a coronation, it's a king's crown, represents the whole nation. Our sons is lacking draining, they the gods in the making. They the gods in the making. It's a celebration. Worldwide party, get together across the nation. They say lives for the taking. They say lives for the taking. So take it. So take it. I don't wanna think about not making love to you. Why you give me the goods, then leave for good? I need you, shit. I don't wanna lock you down. I want you around. Love it when you make that sound. Every time you come around, I don't wanna cage you. I just wanna save you. I don't wanna leave the house. I'm down and out without you. Tell me when you coming out, cause I'll get dressed up for you. I don't wanna play you. I just wanna make you come closer to me, girl. I don't wanna think about not making love to you. It's my only dream, it's all that I wanna do. Tell me what can I come through? You know I can't wait for you. Can't nobody make me do. Don't nobody treat me the same as you. Even for you the same is true. Ocean Alicia Keys, my boo. Cause you scare me sometimes. Cause I don't wanna think about not waking up to you. Tell me when you coming out, cause I'll get dressed up for you. I don't wanna play you, I just wanna make you come closer to me, girl.
Peace to the family and afternoon. Hope everybody is doing well. I said I need some light meditation music for this one, y'all. I don't think I could do this one without no type of background. But if y'all can't hear me over the music too loud, let me know. I cut this shit off. But peace to y'all. Hopefully everything is copacetic. Let me throw my situation into overdrive, because the reality is that my phone will give out on me, and we cannot have that. I have a wonderful message for y'all. The vibes are very much tuned in and tapped in, and I'm just so excited to be here for another week and deliver the information like we do. I have been going through my own little mini transformation and understanding things specifically from the inner world. And this transformation is more of me continuing on with this, right? Because it's not about what people do for me or give for me and things like that. It's only about how persistent I am with staying in my specific truth and understanding my specific truth. So since we do have a lot of information, I want to get to it. So this is the weekly astro report for November 1st. The title of this video specifically is called "It Is All an Illusion." Now, my content specifically is not really for you to listen passively. I understand if you're driving. I understand if you at work. This will definitely help you get through a large percentage of your drive or a large percentage of your workday. However, if you are not doing these particular things, you sitting outside on the patio or sitting in your living room, whatever the case may be, you sitting in the bedroom or you sitting at your desk or you at the library, my thing is pull out your journal, pull out your notebook, pull out your pen, pull out your paper, pull out your notes, the phone application on your iPhone. But really, I'm trying to speak to you in a way that it makes sense. And this is a lot of spiritual energy, and sometimes it might feel like I'm talking for a long time. However, it's not a long time if y'all go to the portals in the different dimensions that I go. You cannot daydream with me. You cannot fantasize with me, because in order for me to bring forward this presentation, all of the different graphics, all of the different screenshots and things of that nature is not an act of daydreaming, nor is it an act of fantasy. It is an act of putting pen to paper or putting finger to device and getting something captured, getting something documented. And if we can get into the spirit of capturing and documenting and journaling and utilizing our imagination, we will be in a specific, powerful leadership, authoritative role as Capricorn transits into sidereal Capricorn. The tides are flipping. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. It just depends on where you're at in that particular paradigm. So I chose this picture because I literally know somebody that looks exactly like this. And it's a beautiful thing, because that's a clear indication of who this person is energetically. But when we're in this world, do we have the inner peace to understand our archetype? Yesterday, me and my wife, we seen two dwarves, and it wasn't like, oh, that's funny, look at those dwarves. We understood that they had a high level of spiritual energy. So Hephaestus is coming on very strongly. And one of the messages of Hephaestus is that your physical deformities or your physical ailments have zero, absolutely zero to do with your spiritual truth. Your physical appearance is just a mere illusion to the divinity that does not, it creates the physical, maybe it may be know your temperament, knows that if you were to be drop dead gorgeous, that's all the fuck you would care about. Thus, it gives you a little gut, a little fupa, little flatty patty, things of that nature, little sausage, things of that nature, so you can really tune in and tap into the spiritual. It may seem unfair, but you need to let that go anyway. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody. I'm no longer saying the family. If I offended you by calling you family, I apologize. I'm moving more into the collective. Family actually means slave and servant, and none of y'all are slaves. None of y'all are servants. If you know better, you do better. The more that I learn, I don't learn to pop shit on YouTube. I actually learn to be corrected. So as you write your notes, as you journal, as you tune in and tap into the higher frequencies and the higher consciousness, you're not doing this to sound cool, to tell your mama, I've been listening to Hood Mystic, and the Hood Mystic said you need to stop going to church, mama. Your mama gonna look at your grown ass and say, you living in my house. How you gonna tell me what I need to stop doing? You need to stop listening to Hood Mystic if all it's doing is telling you to tell me what to do, and you ain't taking none of the niggas' advice. So with that being said, I want to encapsulate you into a world that is ubiquitous, that is all around you, that is the most important world that you'll ever interface with. And this is the inner world. The inner world consists of drive. You can take a note on this if you are writing and taking notes. Dreams, ritual, imagination, vision, energy. So to understand this matrix, you must understand your dreams. You must tap into ritual. You must tap into your imagination. You must tap into your visions, and you must understand your energy, i.e. your inner world, i.e. drive. Please take notes on that. Because if a nigga scam you or flim you, I'ma just say it's your fault. Because what about the scam? What about the scam was a part of your dream? What a part of the flim was a part of your ritual? Nothing. You are a lazy spiritualist. My problem is that I've supported people seeking spirituality for permanence when I'm going to be spiritual forever, perpetually, for the rest of my life. I need more people that is willing to take this fight with me and understand spirituality as opposed to doing it to get something in return. Family means slave. That might have sound crazy. Please let me explain myself. New information and sharing new information. So let's deal with this. Family. Now, and this is online etymology dictionary. The early 15th century name for family was servants of a household. So if I'm a prince or a king, the people who run my house are my family. Period. That don't mean that we in relations with them. That don't mean that I love them. That means that when I want some rice with some eggs over easy, your stupid ass better come and bring that shit pronto or you get kicked out my house. Latin, familia, la familia. Family servants. Can y'all read this? Can y'all read this? Can y'all see? Family servants, domestics collectively, the servants in a household. Members of a household, the estate, property, the household, including relatives and servants. Abstract noun formed from families, servant, slave. So what it turns out to be and what it morphs into be is just another part of the illusion, another part of the game. The reality is that We are souls, and we are a collective. And family is a confusing ass word to be just spewing out. These niggas will call you family and won't even actual family for $20 right now. Motherfuckers swear they ain't got it. But I digress. Y'all love y'all family so much, but claim y'all spiritual. Who lying? Who lying, me or you? Who lying, me or you? Trigger alert, trigger alert. Mercury exits its shadow this week, effectively ending Mercury retrograde on this channel. I'm proud of us. We have been charting Mercury retrograde since its pre-shadow, and we have worked it all the way through and moved it into its post-shadow phase. This week, tomorrow, Mercury will exit its post-shadow phase and will leave completely out of this Mercury retrograde energy. And my personal download for this Mercury retrograde period is what I will share to open up this conversation. So thank you guys for joining me. I really do appreciate you guys being here. And please take notes on the share. Please ask questions. You know, I attempt to teach during my YouTube lives. I don't attempt to entertain. And the thing about teaching is that this is for the person who is listening, not the person that's passively listening. Because people going to click on this video, they're going to click off this video. But I'm here providing the information. So please, please, please in tune to this information for your personal self. So during this particular Mercury retrograde, as it was leaving its post shadow, I was thinking about Buddha. Something just came over me like Buddha, 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 Buddha. But then I remember in my Vedic astrological studies that Mercury means Buddha. And I was like, wow, in Vedic astrology, Mercury means Buddha. And we have been through all of this mercurial energy with the mystery school, money magic, all types of mercurial marketing, just Mercury doing the damn fool in my personal life. And it got me into a point where I could clearly see the Buddha within myself. But understanding, seeing the Buddha within myself is also seeing how I could easily remove the sight of the Buddha within based upon my emotions, based upon my beliefs. And as I was doing research, I came across this infographic. Believe nothing, no matter where you read it, unless it agrees with your own reason and your own common sense. We're going to be talking about a new moon, and we're also going to be talking about Mercury transits in our astrological conversation. And it's very interesting to talk about the transits and talk about what resonates with you and what doesn't resonate with you and so forth and so on. But from this perspective, I want you to fully in tune how your soul has been speaking to you personally, not what you read, not what I'm talking about specifically, but really uncovering some shit throughout this video of how your soul has been clearly speaking to you, but your emotions have clearly thrown you off the sense and throw you off the loop because Mercury has shown you shit that your confidence and your self-esteem could never fully accept. But as you kind of knock yourself out the box and move yourself out of position, What are you going to do? Are you going to continue move in the wrong direction? Are you going to get back on the horse and move towards your particular truth? Hopefully during this Mercury retrograde period from September 6th to now, you can understand that your spiritual life is not a game. You could wish for shit, you could hope for shit, you could want for shit, but if you don't have a personal level of inner peace or peace of mind, fuck what you want, fuck your ambitions, because if you don't get it and you're not emotionally stable, the moon, then you're going to be a hazard and a detriment to yourself. So, are you seeking truth while also understanding that Mercury is never going to give you the full truth, because the full truth is a level of success and I've did it. I am the number one spiritual person. A lot of these spiritual people, because y'all put them on that pedestal, think that they know the truth for a worldwide. They just got a one-off understanding of the truth because of their ego. I come here to tell you that nobody knows your personal truth. This is for you to understand. And it's going to take a long ass time. And even after you took a long ass time to realize your truth, then you have to continue on. Past this long ass time that you waiting for something, the reality is that this is the reality that I'm coming to. You'll never get what you set out to get. However, you setting out to get it is what you should be doing. Knowing that you'll never get it, but moving like you gonna get it at any moment. Sugar Free, the great poet, has once stated, "Stay ready so you never have to get ready." It's like, the reason that he says that is because you could be chilling all day, right? And you get a call. And if you ain't ready for that call, your karma for not being ready is that you miss out on that opportunity. And you might really need that fucking money. So at a certain point, you might see a young lady looking good, just chilling around the house, or even more so, the idea that I always try to get across is don't look good when you have to go out. If you go out and look good, like you do, you brush your teeth, do your hair, put on makeup, but when you at the crib, you looking crazy, well, you're not staying ready. You gotta get ready. Thus, you always gonna be behind the 8 ball. I should be able to call you like, hey, we about to pull up. All right, I'm outside. I was waiting on you. Damn, you stay ready. Right, because I never have to get ready. This is a very important aspect. Psychic development, feminine energy, kind of the same thing. So let's talk about this. Buddha with 1D is the planet Mercury. Buddha, Gautama Siddhartha, is a man who was a king or a prince, had a wife, had kids, didn't know that the ghetto was out here, didn't know that it was hoes out here turning tricks for $40. He thought whatever his regents told him, because he had been sheltered his whole life. He didn't know Mary Jane was out there doing something strange for a piece of change. He ain't know that. He escaped the carriage one day and saw all of this dilapidation in his village, and he said, I need to get wisdom. So he sat under a tree for years, only to go back home to his wife and kids. Meaning that we got to get both experiences out here in these streets. I feel sorry for the people who have never exposed themselves to negative energies living in the time of 2021. Now your whole life is you running from negative energies, when the facts is you had these negative energies within you. You should have got it off your chest. If you got these sexual, which feel like demented energies, why is they demented and they exist within you? You're having the sexual downloads. Don't got shit to do with me. My shit is on something else. Me personally, I've been waking up at like 4 and doing shit. Today I worked out. And it's like I worked out from like 4 to 6. I went home and I was tired and I went to sleep and I got another good rest. So I got two, it's like I'm getting 2 good ass rest a night, but I don't have the stress of, damn, I'm waking up in the middle of the night. Oh my God type energy. I'm just more or less like, all right, I know tonight I'll probably go to sleep at like 8, 7, 8, 9, wake up 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna go to the gym, get some cardio in, right? Get tired, go home, go to sleep, right? It's amazing how your spirit is perfect, but society say you gotta get 8 hours straight through. Spirit is telling me, nah, that ain't really how it goes. We need you to sleep a little bit, take a nap, wake up a little bit, do your shadow work. We gonna wake you up in the middle of the night. You gonna wake up, you gonna be fully alert, you gonna be with it. Then we gonna take your ass back to sleep. That is my schedule. I ain't mad about it. See, it could be your schedule too. Like, you could be experiencing the same thing I'm experiencing, but your inner say that something is wrong with waking up in the middle of the night. Even deeper, you don't have a plan for when you're going to wake up in the middle of the night. So you're just going to scroll on your phone, get into like Instagram Reels and TikTok and that YouTube Shorts. Whoever created that shit, I bet you they go to jail in the next 5 to 10 years. Because they knew the psychological implications of showing you 8-second videos back to back to back. They knew that that was going to keep the phone in your hand much longer than an hour-long video of a person creating content through long-form conversations and things of that nature. They don't want you to expand your mind. They want you to be trapped in their devices. And they know how your brain works more than you probably know. You might not know that you got an 8-second attention span, but yet at the same time can see yourself be on TikTok for hours or at least 20 minutes. That's 20 minutes of content at 8 seconds a pop. You done ingested way more content probably than your brain can handle. Thus, this is the plan that is being played out right before your eyes. So Buddha, which Buddha, the man, and Buddha, the planet Mercury, it's two separate words. One has 1 D, another has 2 Ds, but they both come from the root word Buddha, which means wisdom and intellect. What connects Buddha, is that they've all existed for truth. So you're listening to this video to suss out truth. You're reading a book to suss out truth. You're having conversations with your boyfriend or your girlfriend to get to a level of truth. A relationship, because we'll talk about the new moon in Libra. It's going to be a lot of relationships break up because a relationship is your one and only opportunity to get true intimacy, true joy, true happiness. And if you can't get that within a relationship, i.e. arguing, expectations, negative energy, then you can get that shit by yourself. One would have to have a strong partnership, a strong alliance with yourself to really weather these spiritual storms. Because people, based upon who you love, will put you through hell, part initiation, but part to get you out of your wisdom and your intellect, because you have to do the things that they want you to do. Dress like this, be like this. Don't do that. I hate it when you do that type energy. But why is yourself telling you to do that shit? And why is this person having a negative response to it? Can you control their negative response? I'll answer that for you. You can't. So if you were to act in your true self, truth, you came down to this planet for truth, not to make a nigga happy, not to make your boss happy, not to make your wife happy, not to make your parents happy, not to make your children happy. If you act in a space of truth and buildings start to tumble, then buildings were supposed to tumble. Don't let your truth be something that you live a life avoiding. Then you get 80, 90, 100 on your deathbed talking about all of the shit that you could have did, but you just never did because you did not connect with yourself, and you followed crash dummies your whole life, and then was mad that you woke up in pain. You was mad that you was confused about what the fuck that you should do when you got a whole soul within yourself that requires you to meditate, but you don't meditate because you're afraid of the possible outcomes. And you should be afraid of the possible outcomes because life is here for you to teach you the direction and guidance of the soul. Negative energies is to pull you to your soul. So all of y'all have reached out to me when you was fucked up. Right? And I've allowed that because I didn't realize that I can't help a person momentarily. I can't help you in a reading. I can help you in a sustained environment where you are specifically trying to tune into your soul, all the while understanding that it's going to take a long fucking time to get to a space of understanding yourself if you spent 30 some odd years understanding what you are not, trying to be something that you are not. The reworking and the rewiring is not something that's just going to happen because you pay me for a fucking reading. Even if I try my best to do the best that I can with reading your chart, we're going to have to sit here month after month after month after month, or you're going to have to really take a real attention to yourself in relation to being accountable of your spiritual development. Because these actual truths apply to everybody. There is no supreme. There is no hierarchy because we're all fucking little ants when it comes to the higher celestial understandings. We can all be washed away by a fucking typhoon like that. It's niggas who talk shit, but then if a flood come, motherfuckers would be talking about, I need a GoFundMe. Motherfuckers would be talking about, hey, can I come live with you? Was talking hot shit yesterday. Mother Nature, higher celestial consciousness, Yemaya, Oshun, Oya, the divine feminine energy is not passive. Even more so, the divine feminine energy rules your mind, your connection, your psychosis. And if y'all know anything about a woman who tells you what it is and you do what it ain't, she is not apologetic to your bitch ass, right? Y'all ever had a girl tell you what it is and you do what it ain't? Now you in court, right? She was so nice, so beautiful, so sweet. Told you what she liked. You wanted that. You said, of course. That's not me. I would never. You went left. She said, all right. Now you crying. Now you got pain that you can't even talk about because she done got you forever. And she don't give a fuck about you no more. That's the divine feminine. The divine feminine will love you today and say, get the fuck out my house tomorrow. Will flip on your ass, right? This is why we must develop the sweetness and the softness of the understanding and the gratitude of thank you for not wiping me off the fucking face of the earth. Because nothing is worse than going through emotional turmoil. Emotions is the water. Emotions is the cycles of the moon. All of these things, if they are not in alignment, you will not have the proper intellect to tune into self. And you could look at people like me, people like Travis Mages, people like Brother Yosef, and say, God damn, them motherfuckers is deep. Them motherfuckers is deep. Anybody that you see kicking wisdom or kicking knowledge has understood their emotional cycles up to a point that they know the windows that they can talk to people. Because there's also windows of emotional peaks and valleys where energies and entities can't talk. They have to be intuitive. They have to be in their hermit phase, in their hermit energy. But why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? So they could tune into their Buddha, their intellect, because their intellect is masterful. And it's personal, and it's specific. Hey, Trav, start LVX 777. Hey, Brother Yosef. Hey, Dreamwise, start Love, Live Life, right? Personal decisions that personally benefit them, but also assist the collective in their personal spiritual development. So when it comes to what you should do, you may ask them what their advice was, but I'm going to tell you, if you ask me, I'm going to say, follow your soul. Develop the inner peace, create the understanding that it may be difficult to just get the easy answer. But the easy answer is to be consistent with myself. Be consistent in craving truth. Wake up every morning and seek it a little deeper. What is craving truth in your relationship? Not taking it for granted. Understanding your partner's needs. As opposed to assuming your partner's needs and not asking questions and going day after day after day after day after day after day after day day of not dealing with the actual truth of the relationship. Because if the relationship is in a perpetual place for joy, then there's work that needs to be done. There's truth that needs to be sussed out. But if the Instagram picture is looking flavorful and you getting the likes on the IG, then who needs to crave truth? There is often confusion between Buddha, the enlightened sage who saw desire as the cause of all suffering, and Buddha, the planet god Mercury, who is associated with communication, trade, and mischief. Communication, which would be what we're doing now. Trade would be your marketing ability, making sure that you putting yourself in a space to get immediate sales. And also mischief. What is mischief? Illusionary situations that move you into your soul. If Mercury doesn't present yourself with mischief, then you will continuously live in a world of illusion and glamour. Remember the bullshit that you used to do 5 years ago? Remember the bullshit you used to do 10 years ago? Why don't you continue to do that shit? Obviously, Mercury had to put some mischief in there to pull you into a deeper situation. Now, the reality is that it doesn't stop because Spirit has led you into something that has been successful. Because as soon as Spirit give you something successful, it could take that shit away because you wasn't grateful. You ever had a woman or a man do something nice for you and you ain't say thank you and you ain't give them the proper love and ashe that they deserve for doing something nice out the kindness of their heart? Will they do it again? Fuck no. Men who have a lot of money, women who have a lot of money, 10 times out of 10, they made that money through investment. So if they give you something, they're not giving it to you to waste. They're hoping to get it back in return with interest. They hoping that you take that money, invest it in something that's going to grow interest for you. But 10 times out of 10, we'll take it, waste it, and then go back to the milk, to the spout, to the titty. Like, hey, can I get some more? That shit that you gave me yesterday, can I get some more of that? No, looking like a crackhead. Both of these names can be traced to Buddha, the intellect, the human ability to distinguish between reality and delusion. So, does Buddha truly exist? I don't think so. I'll explain why. Buddha uses intellect to become wise. I think Buddha is more of the same as Captain America, Captain Marvel, Wonder Woman, Iron Man, things of that nature. Buddha uses intellect to become wise. Buddha uses intellect to be smart, slippery, even cunning. The two cannot be more different from each other. Buddha is associated with silence, stillness, and serenity. Buddha is associated with communication, travel, and exchange, yet both crave for truth. So it's a very interesting thing, right? Buddhai derived from Vedic Sanskrit, the root Bud, which literally means to wake, be awake, observe, heed, attend, learn, become aware of, to know, be conscious again. How does one do that? It's within the mythology. Here we have Maya. Double entendres, you gotta stick with me. Bud is the planet of Mercury. Buddha is supposedly this guy, this prince, this king that got enlightenment, but it's all taken from the word Buddhai. Then you have the mother of the Buddha. Her name is Maya. Now, Maya is specific to a specific concept in Hindu thought. It's a goddess, but it's also a thought, illusion, magic. So if you're looking at this from an esoteric metaphysical aspect, the mother of Buddha, the mother of the intellect, is an illusion, is magic. So if it is all an illusion, Buddha can't win. He thought that being under the tree for the rest of his life was going to be his enlightenment. He ended up being that back. The moral of the story is that he ended up being back with his parents, being back with his wife, being back with his kids. So the deeper story is, why'd you go out into the wilderness for all that time just to come back to where you started? Very essential that you start where you began at. Because the first start that you had, you thought the illusion was real. You have to understand this. You want to start again, continuing the illusion, and the reality is spirit, the universe, the world, everybody is saying stop for a fucking second and examine these illusions. It's all an illusion. If it's all an illusion, I need y'all to really think about this. If you can accept that it's all an illusion, then why do you have negative energy? Why are you mad? Why are you angry? Why are you upset? This is the purpose of you understanding the illusion, so you could wash, purify, get rid of the negative energies, because the facts of it all is that it is all an illusion. You have to tap into your Mercury, your Buddha, your wisdom, your intellect, and figure out your path. That is the truth. Anything outside of that is entirely illusionary. Strength in this aspect is to be able to start again. Maya, literally, illusion or magic, literally. Okay, y'all can see that. And I'm presenting my information not as a copy and paster, but to have a consensus of different understandings, so you could gain knowledge and you could apply this knowledge, and you don't be confused about the information, nor do you take the information and make the information about me. That is my fault. That y'all don't have anything to do with that. However, this is why I'm presenting, this is a method to the madness, and hopefully y'all can understand it, and hopefully you are gaining benefits of the information. According to Buddhist legend, Mahamaya dreamed that a white elephant with 6 tusks entered her right side, which is interpreted to mean that she had conceived a child who would either become a world ruler or a Buddha. Okay? So his mother is, I just want to point this out because his mother is named Mother of Illusions. So your whole conception, this is the deeper shit. This is the when we talked about family being slavery, servant energy, and this is for people who are occultists. This is for people who are metaphysical. This is for people who are doing the work of illuminating your soul. You should be mature enough to love your mom already, but also understand that your mother is a realm of illusion that keeps you locked down emotionally, and everything attached to your mom, your school, your house, your upbringing, your emotions, your false intellect, because your supreme intellect is pure and it's directional. It could never be accessed in the paradigm of being in the house with your mom. Imagine you have this Buddha energy and you know that you're supposed to be online. Imagine me saying, Mom, I'm supposed to be on YouTube when I grow up in 1989. She would have legit thought that I was a crazy ass person. I couldn't even conceptualize this, but I just knew that I would be a DJ, right? I would just be like, I'm a DJ. I want to be a DJ. So my mom supported me in that. She got me turntables. She didn't get me a computer. She didn't get me a broadband internet because it didn't even exist. Your children right now, you would tell them, don't do that. When their soul is saying, this is the thing that's going to elevate you long term. Develop these skills of it could be an actor, but they be lying all the time. And you be like, stop lying all the time. You always lying about this, lying about that. Stop lying. Really, they just getting their acting chops together. This is a deeper understanding of spiritual development. And the persistence of your Buddha, the persistence of your intellect is the commitment to it. Because outside of that commitment is Mahamaya, all illusion. This is a deeper level. Most people who aren't ready to hear this conversation will cut the video off, essentially. And that's okay too. So in the Bible, there is something called the mark of the beast. There is there is a computer app that is called Meta. Metaphysical, metamorphosis, right? Before it was called Meta, it was called Facebook, the book of faces, or face swap. And I don't know about y'all. Have y'all ever met somebody off of Facebook in real life? That shit is crazy. It might even seem like people are like they're not who they say they are on that app. I love talking shit on Facebook. If you want to meet me off of Facebook, we might have to square up because I don't trust that. I personally tell people all the time, if you like me in real life, we might can date. But if you think you're going to like me online, you got me fucked up. Because I don't know you. You're not showing me all of what I need to see on this damn app. I don't know how your booty smell. I don't know how many condoms. Like, I done seen some weird shit. Weird shit. The Great Illusion, The Mark of the Beast, 666. Zachary Lansdowne, one of my favorite books ever. If you know, you know. funny, it's my favorite book ever, but I always forget the title. The Apocalypse of St. John, which was recommended by Bobby Hemmett. Ever since I got that book, I've been slowly enlightening myself ever more so. But let's read this. The Great Illusion in its three forms of illusion, glamour, and Maya. We're going to reference glamour because we're referencing Maya, and we're also referencing illusion, and we're looking at all of these things as the external world. The external world, if it's good or it's bad, requires a deep distrust of one's reactions to life and circumstance. When such reactions awaken and call forth criticism, when you have a reaction to life, when you start to critique a person, I don't like that. And then you just shut it off. Separateness, I don't need that. So you just shut it off. Or pride, I'm better than that. So you just shut it off. And these could be things such as relationships. These could be things such as business ideas. These could be shit that you really want. But if you react to them critically, separately, or in pride, how are you able to move forward? And if you don't know, it's hard to know, right? If nobody is teaching you, it's hard to realize this. But your emotional reactions to your life and circumstance is not reflective of your soul. Yes, that's your mom. Yes, that's your dad. But to your soul, you've had many moms. You have many dads. You have many grandmas. I mean, if it existed in a previous lifetime, it had a mom and a dad that it loved so much. But when it transitioned, 10 times out of 10, traumatically, that mom and dad that you love so much from that past life is a distant memory. I dare you to name your mom and your dad from your past life who had sex for you to even be created, took care of you, loved you, supported you. You don't even know they even exist. Thus, it has to be illusionary. Thus, when you critique your dad, you critique your mom, you're doing yourself a disservice. When you imagine that your life problems that you are experiencing separate you from people who, in your mind, ain't experiencing no problems because he got a YouTube channel, because they got a job, or because they got a new car. There are people that are rich as fuck tuned in and tapped in to my channel right now, and you might be broke as hell. I tell y'all right now here, I get the richest person that I do reading for. I get the brokest person that I do reading for. I get them in a room right now and tell them that y'all is on the same fucking level. How about that? Your money don't make you more spiritual, and your brokenness don't make you more valuable to the world. Cause the motherfucker need to help you all the fucking time. There is no permanence in this spiritual life. There is no situation. You could put on a class. I put on classes. I've sold books. I fucking touched people's hands and they fucking broke down into tears. Motherfucker saw me this past weekend, treated me like I was damn Future or some shit. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I'm specific to awakening my personal Buddha. So I want y'all to really understand this sentence that I'm about to lay out. And let me remove my face so y'all can possibly see it a little clearer. Ignorance of the ways of the self. So ignorance means ignoring the ways. The self is the soul. So when you ignore the ways of your soul, you are led to illusion. Growing up, you could not tune into your soul because your parents would tell you, shut the fuck up. And because they tell you to shut the fuck up, you shut the fuck up all the way into your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. It's cool that your parents told you to shut the fuck up because what the fuck else is they supposed to do? But now, you grown. You have to do soul work, or else you are living in a fucking illusionary paradigm. Trust me on this shit. Once caught in the net of illusion, it is extremely hard to break through it. It is difficult to recognize an illusion for having created it. Listen, if you say, I'm not going to ever be in love, nobody is ever going to love me, you create that illusion. If I have a conversation with you and I say, well, what do you want? I really just want to be loved. Okay, you really want to be loved, but you also say that you'll never be loved. Do you see how both of those energies can't exist in the same space, and that's leading to stagnancy? So if you are experiencing stagnancy on any level, it's because your intellect, your Mercury, and your moon are disproportionate or in opposition. Intellect can be used to create. If you are a creator, if you build houses, if you are a civil engineer, if you are a twerker, and you come up with different TikTok dances, you have to go within yourself, listen to the beat, align the measurements to the specific parameters, and make sure that this is that and that is this. That is your intellect. And you can use your intellect to create all types of shit. You have to have your emotions consistently support your intellect. However, your emotions rise and fall. You are not the exception to the rule. You do not have a consistent stream of emotions. The reality is that you may need to be a certain way at a certain time. You might have a different circadian rhythm than me. You might have a different flip to my flop. Your flop might be different to my flip. It's specific to you. You got to understand how you flip and how you flop. You can create the world that you want to live in. Your emotions are telling you right now that you can't. And if you are in a world that is completely illusionary, that don't mean give up. That means take control of the illusion and have a favorable illusion, but never taking the illusion too much to the head because you've alchemized something from nothing. Have y'all ever created something from nothing before? If you've created something from nothing before, why can't you continuously do that? But if you are searching for permanence, then you will quit your spiritual journey at a certain point, when the reality is that you can never quit your spiritual journey, because your spiritual journey, it is important. It matters. So what is the mark of the beast really? The mark of the beast is the mind control over human beings. Where most of us are concerned with Maya, i.e. external illusions, we have not learned to deeply distrust our emotional reactions to life and circumstances to tap into our inner wisdom, our inner Buddha, or our inner intellect, or our inner God. We really wish that our circumstances in our life would validate our existence. But as a spiritual energy and a spiritual entity, you've had way too many lives and way too many circumstances for it to ever be bothered. The only thing that must happen is that you move outside of your fear, move outside of your unawareness and ignorance, and embrace your soul. Why would you embrace your soul? Because when you embrace your soul, you'll know exactly what it is that it is for you to do. On the astrology side of things, we'll be looking at Mercury trine Jupiter and Mercury square Pluto. Mercury is conjunct the fixed star Spica, in the constellation of Virgo, as it is moving completely outside of its shadow zone this week. Spica represents the gift of the goddess. In this context, I really see this as a Spica, earth sign, physical reality, intellect, being able to meditate, being able to have a specific understanding, a specific peace of mind is going to bring about a gift. But that gift, since it's trine Jupiter, unlike Mercury, is a social planet. Mercury is a personal planet. So if you could personally get your shit together, this ain't for everybody. Interesting thing that I've learned about myself being in a relationship, I've lived my whole life thinking that I was socially awkward. And I was talking to my wife about it, and she looked at me so crazy. She was like, "You're not socially awkward. You real comfortable. And like everybody else be uncomfortable, but you be real comfortable." And I'm like, I didn't realize that. Maybe I've been working on myself and I've been changing, or maybe I never was socially awkward. I just was living in that illusion of myself not having a relationship with myself. As a child, as an adolescent, I was really looking for guidance externally. I didn't have a dad. I didn't have a spiritual leader. I didn't have a spiritual grounding. I had the Bible. I had my mom and my little wits about myself, but it wasn't much. So now when I'm in environments and my wife say, "You're very socially adept," that gives me confidence to be in social environments and just be myself fully, because I don't have the illusion that I'm socially awkward. Nobody even told me that I was socially awkward. I believe that shit about myself. So at this point, I know that I'm gonna be in social environments. I'm gonna be in social events and things of that nature. So I'm comfortable more than I ever would be. But you don't get comfortable in social environments unless you have a severe being a lack of better words, a tight relationship with yourself, so much so that it makes you want to get out. I'm an introvert. I'm weird. I'm lazy. I'm kind of ditzy at times. I'm kind of like when the when the waitress bring the food out, and, you know, she say, "Thank you." I'll be like, "Thank you." She'd be like, "Thank you for what?" Or people would be like, "Have a good day." I'll be like, "You have a good day too." They be still at the place that they at. I'll be leaving. Like, I was getting a hotel room, and we were at Mackinac, and the guy was like, "Well, enjoy the island." I'm like, "You enjoy the island too." I'm just weird like that. I don't know if y'all understand. if y'all weird like that too. So yeah, Mercury at the Spica, it is the will being that this gift, a gift would be, I didn't buy it, I didn't work for it, I don't have to pay it back. It's just something that somebody is going to give to me. Now, this could be interpolated, and this could be actually translated as doing something in life, and doing something that's improbable, like getting that job or starting that business or getting into that relationship because you want it, because you tuned into yourself so much. So trust me, you don't get rid of your illusions just to be dilapidated. You get rid of your illusion so you can get the true love. You get rid of illusion so you can get the true prosperity. And 10 times out of 10, your love and your prosperity is a responsibility that you got to be mentally and emotionally clear enough to handle. Y'all probably got a beautiful woman right now that you're not appreciating nor handling or putting on the proper pedestal because your internal energy ain't right. And because your internal energy isn't right, you looking at what's the problem with this young lady. When your will is focused, you saying that this is my wife, and I'm gonna make sure that she knows she's my wife all the time. And when it don't work out right, I'm mentally and emotionally prepared for it not to go out perfectly. But my will is perfect. It's different when you know that you're favored versus hoping that you are favored. Having a deep relationship with your soul is also imagination, it's also vision, it's also creative authority. You've created an illusionary world for yourself that has made you a fucking victim. And this start over, this Mercury outside of retrograde, trining Jupiter, is saying you're going to expand. Now, the fixed stars, right? The fixed stars are Spica. Spica has the nature of Mars and Jupiter. Jupiter is conjunct Deneb Algeti. That has the nature of Saturn and Jupiter. So we got high expansion energy, but you have to be active and you have to be karmically in alignment. Meaning that I got this opportunity to sell these bricks, hood. You said that a miracle is coming. Saturn said, no. This is the tale of Capricorn. You got to fully learn your lessons and giving to helping and having a team and understanding that everything around you that's built up needs people, because you can't be on the post 24/7. And if you're not emotionally intelligent to deal with people, to grow with people, to not give yourself a chance, then you saying I'm gonna do it all by myself. Jupiter going into the 11th house, that's not even the proper attitude. Jupiter going into Aquarius, that's not even the proper attitude. Karmic expansion, active expansion, means that you shouldn't waste time. Nor should you be with the time wasters. Don't tell me that you have goals, that you have visions, you have dreams, and you're chilling with the time wasters. You chilling with the sexy, you chilling with the popular crew. Cause they lit tonight. You having a good time. The thing about spiritual portals, the things about gateways is that they open and they close. They're unapologetic and they actually do open and they give you what you need. And when they close, you can't access them until they come around. I want to prepare you guys for Venus retrograde and its Ophiuchus energy. Ophiuchus! By also understanding that it is time to connect with your soul group, your soul collective. Emotional, mental, you being a goddamn deviant, you not having integrity, you being the person that people want you to be, or the person that you showing ain't gonna cut it. Who you are, you must be that. Integrity is how you integrate with your soul group. Y'all too fake, y'all too phony to be wanting to connect with a soul group, to be spewing all of this negative energy that's within you. Y'all hear me talking about shadow work, and once again, y'all the exception to the rule. Y'all don't need to actually do shadow work because you perfect. You don't project. You know everything there is to know about yourself, know where you going, and you don't want to learn anything else. Cognitive dissonant and thing of that nature. Spica took him from Brady's fixed star book. Spica in Virgo indicates a great gift. As we see, Mercury is conjunct Spica as it stations direct outside of its shadow. So ultimately, this shadow retrograde is a spiritual gift of the highest order, but you have to be available to receive it. A person can give you a gift, but that gift is always veiled. You don't know what it is until you get it, you open it, receive it, and utilize it and apply it in your life. Part of this is allowing you to move forward in grace, in spirit. You cannot beat yourself up for the times that you were not mercurial. You can't know what you didn't know. But now that you know, it's time to move forward, and move forward with the new armor. Move forward with the new wineskin. New wine requires new wineskin. This is indicative of the regrets that y'all hold based upon living in the form of ignorance or living in darkness and being mad that y'all stepped on the goddamn toy every day. When you cut on the lights, you're not going to step into shit, bump into shit, so there's no reason to feel bad. You just didn't know. Double down, because I like to play poker. No, I don't. Mercury conjunct Spica, which represents the gift of the soul. One only has to focus deeply within to retrieve this gift. I want to show you some things, explain some things. When Mercury, or when any planet along our ecliptic is conjunct Spica, it's also conjunct Arcturus. So Spica is here, Arcturus is here, but the ecliptic moves so that this whole nakshatra from Arcturus to Spica is going to be Swathi. So we have Mars, Mercury, the moon and the sun, and this nakshatra or moon matrix or lunar mansion. Arcturus, a new moon and Arcturus, and it's hard to find an understanding of it, but I'm going to attempt to try to give y'all understanding of it. And this is taken from Brady's Book of Fixed Stars. And Mary Shelley had 3 contacts with Arcturus, the fixed star. She was born at the moment it was setting, and that day Arcturus rose with Venus culminated as the moon rose. So she had moon conjunct Venus, and she had Arcturus rising. Funny thing about Mary Shelley is that she wrote a book called Frankenstein, and there was never no book like it ever before. Right? She was very young and she created a whole new genre of books. So when we talk about this gift of the soul, I want you to take it seriously and understanding that what the soul has to give you, the world has never seen it. But if you're paying attention to the illusionary world, you may not trust yourself enough to get the gift that you might be receiving. And very clearly, it was 3 contacts with Arcturus. So the contacts, I don't have any pictures, but you could get on the Star Walk app. If you would, you'll see the sun, the moon, Mercury, and Mars a little bit behind, right? And especially later in the month, or later in the week rather, Mars will then move up into the Spica area. Mercury will be a little bit advanced, but it will all encapsulate the energy between Arcturus and Spica. And I'm gonna reference Arcturus at the end of this conversation, but I just want to let you know that it's major Arcturian vibes, and Arcturus represents new energy, gateway energy, higher celestial, higher conscious energy, but it's very external, meaning that it's also very internal. As we begin to explain this a little further, I want you to be inspired after this conversation, y'all. I don't want you to live your life in regret. I don't want you to be 90 years old wishing that you had a threesome that you never had. Because it's going to be so whack when you're 90 and you in your 30s, 40s, 50s now, you in your sexual prime. It's time to get it popping. Maybe you want to go to Spain. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want to start a partnership. Maybe you want to start a meetup. Maybe you want to do some shit and you not doing it because you don't have a relationship with yourself to give you the confidence and the knowledge and the wisdom and the connections and the emotional intelligence to stand in groups for long enough to relieve some shit. On your deathbed, you'll not wish you had been more comfortable, or that you had found an easier or softer pleasure zone to hide out in. You will wish you had ventured out more, thought you had spoken up more, tried some things, reinvented yourself one more time. So when we talk about reinventing yourself one more time, this is that time. Astrologically, mercurially, cosmologically, on the occult realm, metaphysically, ancestrally, vedusionally, and even deeper, we got a new moon. So we talking about cycles starting over. But a cycle starting over ain't talking about the world. It's saying, can you finally let go of the bullshit and get to the truth in the core of your existence, which exists in stillness, silence, meditation. Ashe. Mercury will be square Pluto right after it trines Jupiter. Pluto will be at the beginning of Capricorn. Jupiter will be at the end of Capricorn. So we got major mercurial energy, major 10th house energy, and we're talking about career, we're talking about gateways, and we're talking about transforming yourself. In the space of this conversation, I'm talking about the inner world. The inner world consists of drive, dreams, ritual, imagination, vision, and energy. I promise you, family, if you tune into your dreams, if you tune into your ritual, if you tune into your imagination, you turn into your vision and understand your energy, you won't have anything to worry about. But if you live in somebody else's dream, doing somebody else's ritual, trying to keep up with somebody else's imagination, following somebody else's vision, your energy gonna be fucked up. And if your energy is fucked up, that's cool. Big yin and yang energy, right? Wash that shit away. That's the beauty of having a mama. A mama makes sure y'all know if you fuck up too bad. And please, 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 if you ain't square with your mama, get that shit squared away. Square it up with your mom. Cause your mom, you came out your mama pussy. So whatever she did after that, she get a pass. Cause it's just your mama. You gotta deal with that, cause that's the restorative energy that would allow you to move forward and tap in. It's affecting your relationships, it's affecting your career, and it's blocking you from your soul. So wash that shit away, right? Big Pluto energy conjunct the fixed star Terabellum 1, Terabellum 2 on the outer edges of Capricorn, outer edges of Sagittarius. Pluto don't know what it want to do. Coming up, it had a woozy ass retrograde, but once it come to, it's going to bring about great change in the realms of your business, in the realms of your success. But you got to start learning shit about your business. Don't start no damn business and say, you know what? I know everything there is to know. Just bring in this money. I was watching this TikTok video. I seen this girl on Instagram. She got $1 million. Where my $1 million at? It don't work like that. If you want change, you are willing to learn that change. And there are plenty of portals that allow you to learn whatever it is you came here to learn. But you got to learn it. Y'all done bought classes that y'all didn't even take. That's a problem. So Pluto is the planet of transformation. Mercury, planet of communication, trade, travel, mischief. Okay. Planet of the soul, planet of your intellect, planet of the pituitary gland, master gland. If you can understand the master gland, soul, inner self, Atman, and you can say, I wasn't following it previously. I wasn't following it previously. I'm going to follow it now, and I'm going to transcend. I'm going to transform my life for the better. You got to make that choice because it's a square. There's going to be people change. There's going to be people that will avoid their soul and look at an illusionary game and be hitting you up. Hey, I got this thing going over here. It's hella illusionary and it ain't going to help you. It's going to waste your time. You with it? Mercury's a trickster. So you could look at this past couple of years as it was tests that you have failed. But there's also tests that you have passed. There are things that you have conquered over this past year that you can also understand Mercury giving you these tests that you can really better yourself after. So I will say it one more time. If it's something that you need to get rid of, it's something that you need to purify, if it's something that you need to exit out your being, utilize it now as this new moon occurs, because this new moon is going to be powerful if you want it to be powerful. But if you think it's the regular same old, then continue to be on the regular same old path. But I'm saying if you want transcendence, if you want pain, if you're tired of waking up feeling like you've been feeling, then release the energy that you've been feeling. Quite simple when you really think about it from that perspective. So we're going to start it and end it. Mercury square Pluto. It starts with your intellect, your truth, your soul, and it ends with you finding it, right? You don't want to continue to live a life based on illusion. You don't want to continue to make people happy on the other side of you suffering. You are very young, you are very smart, you are very powerful. You can make a decision today for the betterment of your life and make the commitment to follow your soul and trust that your soul will lead you and you will be okay. Or you can ignore it and continue on and then try to open back this door and it won't be open. That's how portals work. That's how gateways work. Simple thing with Mercury square Pluto is very simple to purge, very simple to release, and very simple to do ritual. Okay? What is ritual? Peace to y'all. Any ritual is an opportunity for transformation. To do a ritual, you must be willing to be transformed in some way. The inner willingness is what makes the ritual come alive and have power. If you aren't willing to be changed by the ritual, don't do it. Dreams, ritual, imagination, vision, energy. You might need some money, but you're not doing a money ritual. You might need some love, but you're not doing a love ritual. You might need protection, but you're not doing a protection ritual. Why do you feel that you need these things, but feeling like doing ritual is the fucking boogeyman? Oh, that's too weird, hood. I look too weird doing that type stuff. Well, if you want some shit to happen for you, fam, I don't know what the fuck, how it's going to happen for you for real, unless you better... Matter of fact, you know what? Show me your resume. That's what we gonna start talking about from here on out. We about to start filling out fucking resumes, turning in resumes. I'll show y'all how to find jobs. I'll show y'all how to look for jobs. What's your career strengths? What's your weaknesses, my nigga? Cause you obviously don't want no money if you ain't did no ritual towards the shit. We did the whole goddamn money magic rituals and niggas was looking over passively. Laid it out. Oh, y'all did rituals then and didn't do nothing later because, you know, whatever the case may be. Ritualism is a lifestyle. It's part of your inner world. Your inner world is built up by ritual. Your expectations are solely based upon your rituals. What is a ritual? 8 hours at a job that you don't like. You don't get the money the same day. You get the money 2 weeks later. And if you just got hired, you might have to wait 3 to 4 weeks. That's a ritual. You stood there, put a cap on a bottle, put the bottle in a box, tape the box, time, repetition. You had your earphones on, music. Had the fluorescent lights blinding you, having your cornea need to be replaced by the time you turn 55, vision. Somebody else's dream though. I guarantee you living and working out somebody else's dream. When the reality is that your family and not your family, let me correct myself. I'm gonna work my way out of that. But work my way out of it. It's a process. Your collective is waiting on you to be an integral part. And you excuse my French, excuse my English, excuse my Spanish. You can help that white man get rich. But when it comes to your black man and your black women, y'all want to look at me on YouTube delivering this content and act like the content ain't informational. Act like the content ain't transformational. But at the same time, I can't do this shit alone. I've been on here for years saying I can't do this shit alone. Nor can you. The only reason I'm here today is because I got supported and rolled up into this bitch. Like I've been carried and it helped to get to this point. My help has came from ritual. Because before any of y'all was here, before 10,000 subscribers, before I had a business bank account, before I had a Cash App card, before I said any of this hot shit, guess what Kyrie ass was doing in the fucking woods? Ritual. Ritual so deep, so much so, hey hood, start a YouTube channel. Hey hood, start a blog. Be consistent with that blog. Find projects that will engage you as you build up subscribership. Because it ain't going to be a lot of people tuned in and tapped in, and you can't let that be your barometer to continue. You're going to have to do shit that you want to do on your channel. You're going to have to write about shit that you want to learn on your blog. So I can pass this information forward. You may not have shit today. I guarantee you, motherfuckers hit, like, a person emailed me in reference to doing the money magic ritual, and they said the moment that they did the ritual, they decided to call off work and their job called them and said, you know what, here go a $2 raise. And the motherfucker said, thank you to me. I said, don't thank me, you did the work. If a majority of the motherfuckers who listened to my videos was like you, and trust me, she was on her hood rat shit. She was hood rat energy with it. She said, I listened to what you said, hood, and I was playing Future, covered in money, and I just started twerking and throwing dollars up in the air, hood, and I started twerking in the pentagram for Satan. She didn't say that. I'll put that last part in. But yes, listening to Future, covered in money, is a real live ritual technique that I utilize myself. I listen to Future when I'm down and out too. I was just listening to Future 56 Nights to reinvigorate my Virgo energy. But I digress. Everything is a ritual. If you want money, that means you're doing money rituals to bring in that financial prosperity and abundance. If you want love, don't tell me you want a relationship, but your ass ain't drinking roses. Your ass ain't drinking no Callalunda. Your ass ain't drinking no red raspberry leaf. Your ass ain't drinking no Uva Ursi. Your ass ain't drinking no teas. Your ass drinking Hennessy, trying to find a love. And then you get a fucking dick spirit. And you confused as to what ritual has been done for these dicks to be coming from all over the place. It's called Hennessy. It's called a ritual. It's called Casamigos. House of niggas. Everybody I know drink Casamigos, got a house of niggas, and they don't even understand why, do they? Everything is a ritual. Your life is conducive to your ritual. But if you have no inner world connection, if you have done no shadow work, you look at ritual as a point of contention. Oh, I must do this ritual. Fuck out of here, basically, is what I would say. Ritual is a way of life, just like every night you dream, whether you remember it or not. Every single day you have an imagination toward some shit. Y'all have the imagination variety of anxiety. In the comments, it was a question about gratitude. Well, that's an imagination for what you expect to experience in the future. Anxiety is real ass shit. You about to experience some shit that's going to have you mad anxious. That's a choice you're making, but it's also a reality that you're creating. My thing is, choose the reality that you want to create by being grateful, and grateful is the rituals and the things that you do. You imbue it and you infuse it and you empower gratitude in all that you do. This is a mindset. You do a ritual being grateful for the money that you're about to receive. You do a ritual being grateful for the love that you get. But the thing is, you'll get the money, spend it, do another ritual. But you're going to do a ritual not even remembering what you did to manifest it. My thing is, do a ritual to be grateful for money. You get the money, don't spend the money. Do another ritual to be grateful for the money that you have and the money that you receive. Part of the ritualistic process is doing a ritual just to say fucking thank you. Ritual number 1, thank you for life. Thank you for breath. Ritual number 2, thank you for life. Thank you for breath. Ritual number 3, ritual number 1,000,000. Thank you for life. Thank you for breath. If you could understand the gratitude that comes with this moment, you will stop wanting love and money and all of that shit. And if you really truly about that life, you just drinking rose tea. I promise y'all, if I want to attract somebody, all I gotta do is drink rose tea every single night. Me and Roses, boy, I was at the goddamn the grocery line. I said, what is that, Rose? She said, it's me. I was smelling like an old grandma. I said, Grandma got that nigga. What you mean? Grandma got that husband. What you talking about? Yes, she smelled like rose petals, but she definitely had grandpa ass wrapped around her finger. But I digress or progress. It just depends on however you want to look at it. In reference to your Mercury, in reference to your Buddha, in reference to your enlightenment, in reference to the fact of meditating today as if you didn't meditate yesterday, in fact of not perpetrating online as if you know some shit, I don't know a damn thing. That's why I laid all of this shit out. If I knew this shit, I'd just come on here and tell y'all. Because I may forget it or I may slip my mind. I'll record this information and I may come back to this. I may re-upload this and watch this information again so I can really understand what the fuck I'm talking about. Because I got dual roles. I'm not only a client, I'm a fucking president of this shit. I got to absorb the information because why would I give y'all information that I ain't living by? I'm trying to tune in and tap into my dreams, my ritual, my imagination, my vision, my energy. I need us all to be on that same accord. Why would I be trying to do something different? So part of it is fully understanding. And the reason why I say take notes is because look at the fucking screen. There's a nigga taking notes. That's how I'm able to bring forth this information. And last night, this had to be done over this morning because last night I realized I had a mental block, but I was just like, fuck it. They just gonna get this information how it's coming. It was all scatterbrained. It ain't make no sense for real. This morning I sat here, I had a clear mind, clear intention, had the double sleeps, and I was ready to organize it and bring it forward. But y'all can imagine this shit is a fanciful understanding and fancy lovey-dovey shit and coming together kumbaya shit, or you can understand that it's work to be done in reference of you knowing yourself. Why is there work to be done? Because there is enlightenment, there is wisdom, there is newfound sparks of information, new genres of fucking books that are to be created that are within yourself. Are you giving up on yourself in the realms of meditation? Are you giving up on yourselves in the realms of ritual? Do you not divinate to get direction? Do you not have a tarot card and do tarot card pulls to bring some type of wisdom alignment for your day? Or do you wake up with the anxiety of not doing divinations? Because I say if you do not do divinations, then you have anxiety because your life can be controlled and manipulated. Why? Because it's all an illusion. It's all your personal illusion, though. Because I might tell you some shit right now. You're not going to be okay with it, but I'm okay with the shit. It's like I be telling my wife all the time, like, I'm raw dog in the field. If tomorrow we doing OnlyFans and we doing Pornhub, then that's what we doing. But I'm gonna do that shit though. I'm giving it my all. If that's what if your soul saying Pornhub and your soul saying OnlyFans, and you need a manager, you need a photographer, somebody to do the fucking photo edits, I got you. I got you. I don't even know where that came from, y'all. Sacrifice. Sacrifice does not mean to get rid of something. Sacrifice actually means to make something sacred. Mercury square Pluto is sacrificial energy. Sacrifice does not mean to get rid of something. Sacrifice means to make something sacred. So your movements, your life, your energy is sacred. If you get into the etymology of sacred, you'll get to the root secret. This is the pituitary gland. This is the master gland. This is your secret. This is your law of attraction. Because you create your reality from an interior perspective. You must understand not what you are or what you have, but who you are. And as you understand your soul's development, you must learn to make it sacred. How do you make your soul sacred? Through rituals. What should the rituals be? Should it be a ritual for a lover? Should it be a ritual for money? If you want to. In this context, though, the ritual should be saying, you know what, soul? Thank you, because I'm such a fucking dumbass. I'm an idiot. Look at my damn baby daddy and tell me that I'm not an idiot, y'all. You know I don't got it all. But here I stand. Thank you, soul. This Mercury square Pluto energy, you are making your soul sacred. Your soul sacred. Your dreams, rituals, imagination, vision, and energy starts from the soul, starts from your creator, starts from your inner God, and it doesn't stop with what it's created, even if it is the body. The most special of us are the ones who are deformed a little bit. Because we never got the love and the attention and the popularity. Well, some of us did. Some of us didn't because we looked at a little weird. Now, that might look as a disgrace or a bad thing. But as you tune in and tap into the spiritual shit, you'll realize since you never had that relationship with all of these people, that you had an inner relationship this whole entire time. And dealing with 2021 energy, that relationship that you have with yourself is paramount. The easiest thing that we can do is release all of our illusions. What does this look like? This looks like purity, and this looks like sanctification. Sanctification, being sanctified. Saved and sanctified, okay? Pure, closer to the soul. Purification, removing the impurities, the illusion, the maya, the glamour, and get into the purity of the soul. Sanctify, to make holy, to sacrifice, to be free from all of the things that you did yesterday. If you come in this perspective, I don't care, I'm speaking for all men and women in general. If you are truly your soul, ain't nobody gonna care that you was a $40 hoe 2 weeks ago. If you were homeless a couple months ago and you've purified yourself of that guilt, shame, and embarrassment, you'll come to feel like, shit, I was homeless too. A lot of us is homeless, if you want to be real about it. So your guilt, shame, and embarrassment, negative energy, we are purifying that and sanctifying that. Why is this a negative thing in reference to Mercury square Pluto? Because as I'm putting forth this information, y'all know good and damn well motherfuckers ain't about to purify and sanctify themselves, nor should you let that be the motivation for you not to purify and sanctify yourself. Your negative energy that you holding on to, learn to release that, because the place that we going, that shit don't matter. We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and we are not human experiences run wild. Last thing that we're going to talk about, I had to remove shit from this talk. This was going to be an even longer talk. Maybe later in the week, I'll talk about Venus sextile Mercury energy. But for now, we'll talk about this new moon. I want to talk about a fucus so bad, but a fucus didn't fit into the actual show planning. We'll talk about it next week, though. For sure, for sure. This new moon will be in the Swati Nakshatra, as we talked about earlier. Swati is the fixed star Arcturus. Arcturus, Spica represent the Swati Nakshatra. So from here to here is the lunar mansion, probably a little bit over here, is the lunar mansion of Shakti. Or Swati, I apologize for the mispronunciation. As we can see, we have the moon conjunct the sun in the energy of Libra. Oh, we do have action, right? We got Mars and Mercury in between, a little bit further behind. Y'all, let's see Spica, but when it comes to the fourth, Mercury done progressed a little bit past Spica, and Mars is not behind Mercury, is ahead of Mercury. Later on in the week, we'll have a Mercury conjunct Mars. We'll talk about that next week, rather. But let's talk about what we're here for now. Sun conjunct moon energy in the constellation of Libra. This is mentally aligned with your truth. You can't be mentally aligned with your truth without purifying yourself of your illusions. So one would say, I already know my truth, but yet and still one is not seeking that truth. One is not craving that truth. If you know your truth, any information contrary to that, you will reject it. Now, the reality is that that's cognitive dissonance. Cognitive, your mind, dissonance, disconnection, ignorance, ignoring that. The balance that we're really trying to seek is that of truth. As I stated many times on this channel, Libra is an air sign, meaning that the connect and is also centering in marriages and partnerships. There is no sex involved in marriages and partnerships and friendships and soul groups. Sex comes after. But if your energy is reversed, maybe you are on a nodal. You move like the North Node move. You don't move like the perceptions of the equinox move. But if you were to understand the astrological buildup of relationships, you could see the perfection in developing a mental connection with your partner. If you can't fully imagine, if your imagination can't see you mentally having a relationship with somebody, then you have to have that connection with self. Because once you have that love for self, it's easy for me to share love with people. Because I don't even want love in return from a motherfucker. Okay? I just give love at this point. Another reason is the love that I want. Ain't nobody asking me specifically, how do you want to be loved, Kyrie? Motherfuckers give me what they want to give me and imagine that it's going to be okay. So I can't even begin to want for love from a person. If I was waiting for love, I wouldn't never think to give love. However, the reason for that is because the love that is the giver is within myself. and it's very specific, and it knows exactly how to love me. And I don't have no issue or no trouble. So the Swati Nakshatra, some of the key themes to it is strength and independence. You got to be strong and you got to be independent if you're striving for higher intelligence. Because the higher intelligence is saying community, is saying getting land and making sacrifices and FHA loans and Airbnbs and property and marketing and all of this. My friends and family is talking about what you wearing for Halloween. We gonna be $40 hoes for Halloween. What you want to be, Kyrie? If you trying to be a $40 hoe and you telling me that you want to be a 40, you messing with my mind. Don't play with me. Anyways, fluctuating relationships and partnerships. Why? Because truth is truth. If you have made a relationship choice out of ignorance, out of Maya, out of illusion, out of glamour, spirit will move you out of that relationship. Spirit will move you out of that partnership. If you feel yourself moving out of that relationship and moving out of that partnership, you got to also understand that relationships or partnerships are opportunities for bliss. If you're not in a state of bliss in your relationship, you have to retool that motherfucker, because you might be in a situation or a vehicle that's not wired for success. You might be in a vehicle that have a destination outside of your destiny. So when you stop for gas and spirit say, get the fuck out, catch a bus home, guess what your ass should do? Happiness and bliss is something that your spirit will tell you all the fucking time. And the only issue is when you feel it opposite from a person, your ass don't run away from that motherfucker. You a glutton for punishment. Utilize this window of opportunity to not be so much so. Find your strength, find your independence. How? Well, you should know by now. If you think what's the song? If you don't know, meditate by now. You will never meditate. Ooh. So real quick, we got Swati Nakshatra, we have the fixed star Arcturus, and we have the constellation of Boots. This is taken from the Untold Nakshatra. Just type Untold Nakshatra. If you got Scribd, it's on Scribd. It gives you a deep dive in all of the nakshatras, and it also associates each nakshatra to a fixed star. All astronomers agree that the Yogathara of Swati, or the fixed star of Swati, is Arcturus of Alpha Boots. Interestingly, the star does not come in the range of Swati, which is interesting because Mercury, which we talked about, is in the actual range of Swati, but the energy is the energy. So Arcturus is, since it's like a big energy, right? So this big ball is Arcturus. This little baby ball is our sun. And if our sun rises and sets and we feel the heat when it rises and we feel the cold when it sets, the energy that Arcturus is the same type of heat, same type of vibration, because it's so much bigger and is low-key close to our solar system. It's in our solar system, rather. It's in our solar system. It's just not on the ecliptic of our solar system, but the energy of Arcturus is very, very strong. The energy of Arcturus is the enlightenment energy. The sun will have you going to work, going home, watching porn, or go to sleep. The Arcturus energy will have you reading a book. The Arcturus energy will have you meditating. The Arcturus energy will have you strong, independent. You got to understand the different influences of the planets and then begin to understand your chart. So you might be a Libra, you might be a Virgo sidereally. I even go better as to saying that you a Scorpio, right? Like, you could think that you're a Scorpio, but you really a sidereal Libra, and you really an Arcturian. You see how the fucking play gets fucked up when you start dealing with the Western astrology and not dealing with the fixed star astrology? You don't get alignment to higher celestial concepts because it's not presented to you within the literature. Unless you go to like Astrology King, or if you got books and you studying shit as it comes up. It's too much energy and too much knowledge to just hold within your mind. So the constellations and the precession of the equinoxes gives us opportunities for me every week to detail different energies that lay present in the world that we all can somehow bear witness to. I bring Arcturus to you guys to understand that this energy is different from other energies. So when you have new moon energy conjunct Arcturus, conjunct the Swati Nakshatra, independence is mercurial in the sense that you have your own guidance system. You must express that guidance system. It's one thing to know it, but then to be scared to express it in your close family and friends because you think that that's real. That's an illusion. Your inner guidance system is the truth. And all you would have to do is bear witness to the alignments of these precessions. If you can understand these spiritual cosmic alignments of energy, then you can tune into the mythology. Sometimes people tune into the mythology whenever they want to, and that's right too. That's right and exact too. However, it's too much. And it being so much that it tends to confuse people before they're able to tackle anything. So I follow the precessions of the equinox, follow the planets along the ecliptic. In every position, there is a mythology attached to it. This particular mythology attached to this particular precession is the Arcturian mythology. And once you get into the science of the Arcturians, where it's people in this world that will kill somebody, it's people that will rob somebody, it's people that'll hurt you, it's all types of weird shit happening. And us being spiritual beings, we live a life of peace, we live a life of magic, we live a life of healing. Why will I do all of this meditating and traveling and inner peace shit, and the next motherfucker just be hurting itself? Well, that's an influence of the sun minus the influence of the moon, maybe a little too heavy an influence of Mars, and no influence of Arcturia. Arcturians presented the world civilization with power, love, magic, and higher intelligence. But this actual transmission of energy was found within. So I speak a big game about meditation, but I'm also trying to get you to connect to higher celestial consciousnesses based upon the precessions and the alignments cosmologically. Because I know if you can let go of the illusions, I know if you can tune into your truth, you will know what the fuck it is to do for your personal self. But you, one, have to be strong enough to know that you will know. You have to be strong enough to know that you will know, and you will follow yourself and your guidance, but you have to let go of the illusions. You have to really work towards working towards yourself. One of my spirit guides, Edgar Casey, who I actually feel like I don't feel like I was Edgar Casey in a past life. I feel like me and my wife were that entity. The reason that I say this, it might sound trivial, but when you spread Edgar Casey apart, you get K and C. Our initials are K and C, and his energy, he just read and read and read and read, and he wanted to start this business, and he started a business, and he started the business with funding and donations. And once the funding and donations stopped, the business stopped, but he didn't quit. He came up with the ARE, and the ARE was for people who wanted to do the work forever. And he relied on people as opposed to donors, and I say all of that to say that woke me up this morning, because I'm realizing that I'm willing to do this shit forever, but I don't think I'm willing to help people forever. I'm willing to help people that are willing to help themselves and willing to help me too, willing to help each other. I see us as a collective working together, but there's too much ego and there's not an understanding of the esoterics, metaphysics, and occult life, i.e. the inner world. So I'm challenging you to tune in to your inner world, because the inner world has the information that we need to move forward. Your fear and anxiety is the block. I'm bringing this information at the highest vibration of love possible that I can muster. I'm doing this in the space of alchemy, because there is fear, there is doubt, there is anger, there's confusion, there is misunderstandings that y'all have about me that I have to let go because I created it. And I can't be mad that y'all don't look at the information and y'all look at me, because I presented my family, my children, and not more than the information, but at the same time, it's like you think that you need something to be validated in the hearts and minds and others, and the reality is that I don't need that shit at all. I'm presenting the information outside of myself so we could all bear witness to, so you could do the meditations. Now, where I challenge you is to not take the information and run with it. Pour back into the mystery school. Pour back into the channel. Join the Patreon. Because none of this shit is easy. And I know that I'm saying that because I'm not going to quit. So even if you don't pour in, even if you take this information and run, I'm going to continuously be here, but I'm going to also tell you what it is. If I'm giving, what would make you think that you should take? Giving energy requires giving energy. And I'm not speaking like I need money. I'm speaking specifically like I need you to go within yourself and figure out how can you specifically help this community, this collective, be the best community and collective based upon what this community has given to you. And if it hasn't given anything to you, then we don't expect anything. But understand that trying to crack open through the ego to tap into the love within you to bring that forward is not going to be easy, and it's not going to take one day. It's going to take a lifetime of information, and niggas that get online and seek to correct and seek to put people in check and tell people what it is and what it ain't. None of this conversation is about that. So when you look to make corrections, you are also making corrections within yourself. The reality of these transmissions is the frequency of perpetuity. So big solitude energy. In Vedic or sidereal astrology, Arcturus is called Swati, which is a word derived from the language of Sanskrit. It referred to the good goer, or perhaps sword, and known there also as an outcast, possibly from its remote northern situation far outside the zodiac, whence from its brilliancy it was taken to complete the series of Hindu asterisms. So even though it's not on the ecliptic, we can still see it clear every single night. It's one of the brightest stars in the sky. As we can see why, it's fucking huge, right? So that's that. Arcturus is said to give prosperity from work, also give strong desires, a tendency to excess, a fondness for rural pursuits, together with some liking for occultism. So going out into the wilderness and doing spells, doing rituals, basically. It gives riches, honors, high renown, self-determination, and prosperity by navigation and voyages. Nothing about staying in the house. However, it could be associated with the tarot trump, the Hermit, and the Hermit in its most sense is about raising up your inner energy and developing emotional maturity to know that everything isn't for you, but what's specific for you is entirely for you. So keep your arms wide open and take it all in because it's all for you. To summarize this new moon, if you can, I know people got children's relationships, obligations, and they can't get alone as much as they like. However, if you can wake up early, or if you can book a trip, or if you can take a trip, if you can get rid of your regular mundane energy, at least for the new moon, November 4th, solitude, meditation. As I was writing this, it was said to me, solitude brings about solutions. I said, okay, I'll take that. You may not know that a situation is fucked up because you're in it. Solitude energy will allow you to see how it's fucked up or see how it's working for you, and you never seen how it was working for you, and you get that reinvigoration energy. I will always stress, especially now, Deepa Valley energy, the ancestral fortnight, waking up in the middle of the night, working out, doing work, reading. Get off your phones in the middle of the night. I mean, you're going to fuck with it from time to time, but really have a purpose when you wake up in the middle of the night, because this is the time where you get in the deepest illumination. I can't stress this enough. I've said it a lot in this broadcast, and I'm going to say it one more time. Get in touch with your inner world. Understand your drive, your dreams, ritual, imagination, vision, and energy. I promise, if you study this and understand this, you will know what it is that you need to do. If you study what I'm doing, what him doing, what she doing, what her doing, what they doing, what them doing, it ain't going to work out for you. The name of the game is soul searching. We not baby mama searching. We not baby daddy searching. We are searching for the wisdom that is within us that has not been tapped into yet, because we haven't tapped into it. And if for chance you have meditated every single day for the past 28 years, guess what you're supposed to do tomorrow? Keep meditating, because there's wisdom within your deep ass that haven't been tapped into either. So with that being said, that was the long form version of the weekly astro report. I just want to show y'all. Bring your ass over to the mystery school. And stop over there. You understand me? Check out our latest article with the same title as this video. It is all an illusion. You can get a short form of what we have been talking about in this conversation. Because me personally, I don't want to just talk about some shit and forget it. When I get valuable information, I like to retain it, because retainment allows me to apply it, remember it, understand it, have deeper conversations, and if this energy comes back around, I will still have it within my mental understanding. So I shared this with you. You could take notes on this article. You could research different topics that we talked about deeper in this article. But please, new moon rituals is a must. Y'all will tune in and tap into them full moon rituals out of alignment. These new moon rituals, waning moon rituals, releasing, purifying, getting prepared for this new moon energy, not tapping into what's happening online all day, every day, imagining that it holds some sway. The only thing that holds some sway is your internal guided system. What are the tools that you're utilizing to access this? Or are you just being afraid of yourself? Yep. If like wanting to figure it out and meditate into figuring it out, you'll never get it. Meditation is a point of breathing. learning to meditate for the sake of meditating, learning to meditate for the sake of inner peace, learning to meditate to not communicate so much as to specifically receive from source. A deeper way of understanding meditation is that the answers will be given to you even if you do not understand that they're given to you. So, don't give up either. I'm going to be here next week and weeks subsequent to this, and I'll continue this message. Because the inner world creates the outer world, and that message will stand the test of time. But the deeper intricacies of the inner world is the realization of your inner Buddha. So if you do not see your inner Buddha, if you do not see your Atman, the indication or the prescription is for you to continue to seek the inner Buddha. You are not the exception to the rule. You have a soul. If you are not doing the work to find your soul, not journaling, part of this is not writing, right? Because not writing is thinking. Thinking to have you going to think about this, thinking about that. Spiritual development is real deal shit. You should have books upon books upon books and stop looking for a destination when it comes to spiritual shit. Because the moment that you find your destination, Mercury will trick you up out of that shit and will have you literally losing your shit because you thought that spiritually you were supposed to be given this big mansion. And if it's taken away, you'll be confused about this shit. Be grateful for all that you have. Be grateful for all of the peace that you can muster in this crazy ass world, family. Don't imagine that this world's not crazy. Don't imagine that people do not want to have your best interests at heart when you don't have your best interests at heart. Your anxiety is real. So because your anxiety is real, what are you going to do about it? Meditate, be grateful, exercise that, purify yourself, spiritual baths. These are things that you've heard before, but you ain't done them in 2 to 3 months, 4 to 5 to 6 months. You haven't done them in a year. Ritual. Yeah, I know ritual is important, but why the fuck aren't you continuously, perpetually doing rituals? Because you want shit. Meditation and rituals you can interchange that. So if you feel like meditation is bullshit, do an hour-long ritual where you're emotionally aligning with what you want to receive. So a ritual for sex is you stimulating the energies of sex in your ritual. You're not having sex, but you're intending to have sex through your emotions, through your visualizations, through how you prepare for the ritual. If you got drapery and candles and candy and incense and you go all out for your ritual, you will change some shit about your reality. If you feel like ritual don't mean shit, then ritual don't mean shit. If you feel like this is weird and awkward and it don't matter, it's weird, awkward, and it don't matter. But if you feel like you gonna go all out for your ritual because you want some money, so you going to burn a fucking $1 million of ancestor money, you gonna fucking go to the river and offer all of the fruit that you got in your cabinet because it's about to spoil anyway, you might get some fucking money 2 weeks from now. You'll go to work on Monday and get paid 2 weeks later from that. Never thinking nothing of it. So I don't want to talk y'all to death more than I've already talked y'all to death. But please tune in and tap in to the article. Tune in and tap into the mystery school. Tap into the Patreon. We'll begin to do the live readings starting this weekend. So if you are a Patreon member, I thank you for helping me continue this message, continue my ministry. But if you enjoy this ministry and you want to help and assist me continue going on the way that I've been going, Cash App, Patreon, a class idea, a book study, how can you help me? How can you help, what the benefits of this that we offer, and how does that compel you to reciprocate that energy? Because the reality of it, what I learned from Ergo Casey and from this, is that you can give so much work to the collective, but if they're doing it for a one-time only deal, then they'll never fully understand the work that I personally put in. I never one shot deal this spirituality. It's been my life's work. And I'm honestly here to tell you that tuning in and tapping into your soul is going to be your life's work too, whether you know that or not. So meditate, meditate.